John, obviously the news of the day is another document search, this time at the president's beach house. FBI and apparently the Biden lawyers say nothing was found this time. When did the FBI request the search that was conducted today?
Look, the president's been very clear. He's been working through his lawyers, with the FBI to make all of his residences available. They were able to search through every single inch and room and drawer of his home in Wilmington. They requested the opportunity to search his beach house as well. They've done that. As you said, no documents with classified markings were found in that house. The hallmark of our handling of this has been cooperation with the Justice Department, with the archives in the first instance, to make them aware. They didn't ask for documents from us. The president and his legal team said, hey, we found some of these documents. We've been cooperating fully, and today's was just the latest example of that cooperation.
As White House Chief of Staff, have you done anything about the way classified documents are handled in the White House since this discovery first occurred?
Well, I think the issue here is what happens actually when public officials leave public service and they take their files with them as they can. And obviously in the case of President Biden, when he was vice president, some papers that shouldn't have been there got there. We've seen the same thing now with Vice President Pence as well. So that's a different issue than kind of the ongoing operation of the White House. I feel very confident in the protocols and procedures we have in the White House now to manage the handling of classified documents in a safe and secure way.
What was your gut reaction the first time you heard they have found classified documents in what was the vice president's possession while he was out of office?
Look, I think, as the president said, I think we've all been surprised by this, in terms of these documents somehow winding up in his files. I was surprised, as he's been surprised. And again, the most important thing, I think, is we've cooperated fully with the Justice Department, with the National Archives, to make sure that as things are found, they're turned over the same day. And to cooperate fully. Look, that's obviously very different than the approach that Donald Trump has taken, where he has basically stonewalled the government, required search warrants, was asked for these documents, refused to turn them over. In our case, we identified the documents, made them available to the appropriate authorities, and have turned them over as soon as we found them.
Yeah, as you say, in the Trump model, zero cooperation. He calls the investigation of his possession of the documents a witch hunt, which is a term I haven't heard here. Will the president cooperate with the investigation to the point of submitting to any interview that the Justice Department might want to do?
Look, the president's going to cooperate fully. That's his instruction to us. And so, we're going to cooperate fully with whatever this investigation requires.